Hello and welcome to game number 1 of this winners bracket finals for the Ritmix Russian Dota 2 League. We are gonna be seeing Dignitas on the dire side for game number 1 up against virtus.pro coming from the Radiant side for this one. And before we jump ourselves into the draft, two notes, because as I actually mentioned on Twitter, etc., that Cycles was going to be co-casting with me. Unfortunately, he's not able to join me today. He has got some issues with his computer, and hopefully he'll be able to join me on a later date. He might still fix it for game 2, but he's expecting that it can't be fixed today. So, unfortunately, for now, by myself, still trying to find a co-caster for game number 2, but we'll find out that after game number 1 at least. And, of course, also standings! Yay! It is going to be this winners bracket match that you can see right now. virtus.pro versus Dignitas. The winner of this match will be going on to the grand finals, which will be played tomorrow, by the way. The loser of this match will be going to the losers bracket. There we go. And it's going to be up against No Tidehunter, the one that won from Liquid yesterday in very convincing fashion. And we'll see who is going to be going there and who's not. Like I said, tomorrow is the finals. The losers bracket finals are gonna be played out tomorrow as well. In there's no confirmation yet on exact times, but the estimation is that it's gonna be starting at 1600 CET time. And at that time, it should also be again casted by more than just me. It will also be casted by Toby again. So you are at least. You know, you have some more options, as there are options today as well. Boberg is actually casting this match as well on Twitch, so you can find him there. And we'll be seeing Dignitas banning out Wisp and Batrider with the Darkseer and the Nyx Assassin. They're going to be banned out on the side of Dignitas with the Lone Druid, the first pickup, interestingly enough, as the Keeper of the Light is still in the pool. Let's see if Dignitas wants to make use of that. They have been really favoring Lions and Rastas as support lately. So if you're then already picking up a Keeper of Light, it can be done. You can use it, but you kind of, you know, you kind of lock yourself into a typical kind of play. They're gonna have a Lifestealer and a Gyrocopter picked up instead though, so already a very strong combination. And versatility with that as well, or at least with the Gyrocopter. He can be going mid, he can be going as a support, he can be going as a carry. And we actually have seen quite a few Lifestealers going on the hard lane solo. Just because they have a bit of a build and escape, I guess, with the
10 seconds remaining.
I have to say though, I think we mostly seen that from No Tidehunter, but maybe Dignitas copied that, so we'll find out. As virtus.pro, they already got the Lone Druid. Basically, Lone Druid normally is normally Lone Druid is gonna be on the lane by himself as well, right? So you already have got a team then that you know will be having 2 carries with and a Lone Druid late game and something else that's gonna be on the tri lane or dual lane that's gonna be on the safe lane. So you know you're already gonna be up against that. And Dignitas replied to that by basically picking up the 2 heroes that virtus.pro might just want to pick up for that safe lane. So nicely done. I don't think I've seen that one before, but it can definitely work out. We have got a Bane picked up by virtus.pro, counter towards a Lifestealer and a solid support at that. By the way, these 2 teams, they haven't played against each other in ages. Well, 21 days to be exact, which was for the defense. At
10 seconds remaining.
At which time it was virtus.pro that came out ahead, but before that it was Dignitas, and before that it was virtus.pro. These 2 teams have been on even ground for a very long time. So I'm very curious to see what they're actually gonna be doing this matches. Yeah, they're in the winners bracket for a reason, right? So we're going to be seeing why. I actually just got message that Beatis might be joining me for game number 2, so at least we'll be having a co-caster. But if he can, he's thinking about it. I shouldn't share it, I guess, if he's not certain yet. Otherwise, well, we'll find out. Anyways, we'll be seeing Dignitas thinking about their last pick real hard. I mean, they can pick up a support already, just like virtus.pro did, just to secure themselves a solid support that virtus.pro will otherwise ban out. I mean, they'll know what to ban out. If you're going to be picking up a mid laner or something else right now, then it's fairly easy to ban heroes out against you if you only have 1 role left to pick up. Unless they really want to have a specific mid laner up against that Magnus, if we're going to assume that the Magnus is going mid, which for now I'm actually going to be thinking
10 seconds remaining.
So if they want to pick up a Puck or a Queen of Pain, the difficulty is...
I speak for the trees.
But now Nature's Prophet, that's actually going to be their offlane then. So that kind of gives away that there's probably going to be a gyro mid. Unless they want to use it as support, but we'll find that out. But in theory, all three lanes are sorted. Like, all these three heroes we've seen on solo lanes before, and they don't need supports. In theory, I say. But like I also said, virtus.pro will now be able to just ban out the supports that they don't want to be facing. And that's going to be fairly easy for them. Like Shadow Demon is the first one. Probably going to be seeing a Lion ban or maybe a Leshrac or something like that. Leshrac and Lifestealer, of course, go very well together. And Lina would be one, a Jakiro. I mean, there's so many sports, and as I mentioned all of these, there's going to be at least 2 left after all that happened. Dignitas might actually also ban out a support though, because if you're going to have a Magnus and a Bane, that's kind of 2 setup things. Like, you got an RP and needs a bit of AoE damage supporty kind of thing to go with it, like a Jakiro or a Leshrac or a Lina or something like that. And the Bane, same thing, with his Nightmare can set up for stuff. And I almost forgot that the Keeper of Light was still in there. But that's an obvious ban then. But yeah, also Bane, like I said, he is a setting upper with the Nightmare. But for now, Dignitas, they ban out the Clockwork, something up against the Lifestealer, of course. That is basically a bit of a control freak, I guess, in a way. We're gonna have the Alchemist ban out, something that virtus.pro has liked to run. And the Rubik now the last ban out from virtus.pro. So they ban out 3 supports. The Shrek's still in the pool, but the first pick goes to virtus.pro, so they might actually think about picking that one up themselves. There's still so many supports in there. The last ban out from Dignitas. What's it gonna be? Like, in theory, Dignitas could also send the Nature's Prophet into the jungle and still have an offlaner / mid laner needed, depending on how they're gonna run it. And a Lycan, actually, the last ban from Dignitas. Bit less pushing power, split push power, but interestingly enough, because I haven't seen Lycan in a while, well, not in a game that I casted anyway. I think I've seen it recently, but not by a European team. Might be wrong though. Can't watch all the games. There's so many games lately. I used to be able to get everything there, like to know everything, what drafts were done, etc. But I can't do that anymore. It's just way too many games to keep up with.
5 seconds.
Oh well.
5 seconds remaining.
virtus.pro still has a lot of time in their bonus time, unlike Dignitas, who basically used everything there. And they are still the Leshrac, so they wanted to pick that up for themselves. No real surprise, as he is great together with the Magnus, great together with the Bane, and is a great mid-game hero as well. Well, Leshrac is powerful in most phases of the game. But mid-game is the one that they need to be getting a bit more attention towards everybody but Lone Druid, so that Lone Druid can farm a bit more freely, perhaps. If he's going to be going on the hard lane, he's not going to be getting that much farm until, well, until the people that are on this lane on the opposing team has kind of left the laning stage. Shadow Shaman picked up by Dignitas, as I mentioned. They really love their Shadow Shaman and Lion lately, so Shadow Shaman is the one, and a bit of pushing power with that as well, but most importantly, a lot of control. A lot of control in one hero. And if you imagine that Shackle with the Lifestealer, it's on the lane, it's already very, very strong. You might even see an aggressive tri lane coming up from Dignitas if they pick up another one of those strong laning supports. So we have a Weaver pick up from virtus.pro, so that's going to be their carry. We've seen a Weaver a lot more lately, and as I said, you already have got a Lone Druid as a bit of a carry as well, so you can't really shut down both of them because they both are quite elusive.
5 seconds
Lone Druid not really elusive, more like super tanky, I guess. But Weaver kind of elusive hero. And very mobile, of course. Though I have to say, with already the Shadow Shaman up on Dignitas, the Shackle there is very annoying for Weaver, because he can't really do anything with that. Like, Weaver can time-lapse afterwards, but the duration of the Shackle is so long that it might be enough for Lifestealer to pound him down or something like that. By the way, as I was talking about again, another aggressive, strong laner, Visage definitely is the one. So I think we're looking at an aggressive tri-lane, possibly, and then with Aoi safe farming, and Nature's Prophet in the mid lane, as we see Nis Snaking picking that one up. Just waiting for Dignitas to finish up their last pick, as in to actually pick up the hero in the game, so that we can jump ourselves over to the map itself. We're going to be
10
seeing who is going to be going
remaining.
where and who is going to be doing what. And we're going to start on Dignitas side as we see Way Too Sexy playing the Visage for his team. Going to be supporting their Aoi. On the gyrocopter, we'll be going to the top lane with Fogged actually following him. Universe on the lifestealer, so he is going to be at least on the suicide lane, and it looks like he's not going to be supported. He's going to be by himself. So as I said during the draft, we've seen lifestealers going on the solo hard lane a lot more lately, and that's exactly what it's going to be going for. Even though I think there's going to be a bit of roaming between Way Too Sexy and the Shadow Shaman, the potential is definitely there. And we'll be seeing Snaking probably going towards that mid lane. Already built up for a fast battle with his items. Picked himself up the Nature's Call still. Just to scout out those runes. I mean, the thing about a Nature's Prophet mid, he can't really win his lane, but he is there to get levels, and levels he shall get because of his long range, and he can harass a bit with his Treants. He's gonna be up against what? Against a Magnus, so he'll definitely be able to be fine with that. But Tamar Wild on virtus.pro on the Irradiant side will indeed be playing the Magnus with a Smile or ars-art playing the Bane. It is going to be Ness on the Leshrac. On the bottom lane we'll be having Illidan playing the Weaver, and on the top lane KSI on the Lone Druid on the hard lane, and he'll be trying to get some farm up at the aggressive tri lane. The Bear is actually going to be also able to be taking a lot of harassment because the Shackle there, like I said, is just so powerful, and normally Shadow Shamans picked it up first because it's like, there we go, it's a 2.5 second disable already without really, like, at level 1, that is gonna be the longest one. Shallow Grave is there slowing the Bear down. Here comes Fog looking for that Shackle if he can get it. The range though on it is very short, that's why later on you'll see him hexing first and shackling after, purely because the range on the Shackle is not that great. But yeah, it's super powerful, and if indeed KSI comes out too far, well, he'll be paying for that one, as we do have a gank going on in the mid lane. Nightmare to set things up for. Here comes NS from the side. Split Earth up on Snaking. No escape. He will be the first blood of this game, and it will be going to Tamar Wild. So as I said, I mean, he's gonna be there for levels, and he should be fine because of his range, but if he's gonna get ganked like that, he is a hero that has absolutely no escape mechanism at all. So he's going to be very, very susceptible to ganks, and that is something that NS or virtus.pro in general are going to be profiting from, especially since they don't really need their supports on the bottom lane. Oh, Bear. Hello, Shackles. 100 gold going away, Way Too Sexy, yay. So, yeah, that's gonna be Smile still pulling on the bottom lane, but he's not really needed here. He's only doing this to get his own experience. Airman or Illidan will be able to get the lane equilibrium on himself as well. You'll be free farming here, just like we have a free farming gyrocopter here. Aoi doing that one, and Lone Druid KSI. I actually think he'll be probably going towards the jungle soon if he realizes it's not working, because the harassment is just too much. And like I said, I mean, the disable and the slows, it's just too much. And I find it a bit sad, a bit of a shame. Don't know which one I was gonna say, but I was gonna say both at the same time works as well. But I find it English. Jeez, I would like to have an aggressive tri lane. Like, these two can make so much happen. It's insane, and they can also go for a gank. I mean, the Shackle will stop the skewer if the harassment is there. That's something that Snaking can do, possibly. Then, you know, and they could also kill you off. But though that's not the case, we're actually going to have another gank. It's going to be virtus.pro once again to determine the pace of the game. Smoke up. Nightmare will be there to start things off with, and Snaking gets harassed away. Oh, they walk past the tower. That's not really ideal, so Snaking knows exactly where to go. Hello, Universe. Welcome. Going to be able to turn something around, as he is actually going to be in a bit of trouble, perhaps. Everybody eating a bit of trees because they got harassed a lot by that tower, and Snaking is going to be just fine. A gank failed by virtus.pro. And a bit of time wasted on the support. Not that big of an issue though. Not yet anyway. We do of course have, I mean, the lifestealer, he can't be on the bottom lane because it would be too dangerous. As we already saw, the Nightmare Split Earth combination, he would not be surviving that even with his rage. It's just too much. The setup there would provide a perfect setup also. Yeah, you know what I mean. He can't be on the bottom lane. So he is he's farming in the jungle. Same thing as, of course, KSI is now doing. We can compare the two. For now, it is going to be Lifestealer slightly ahead because he just was in the jungle earlier, while KSI still tried to do something on the hard lane, wasn't able to do it. In theory though, KSI will be pulling slightly ahead in terms of how fast that hero can farm. But the difference will be minimal at some point. I mean, they are fairly evenly paced in that case, in that sense. As we have got snaking level 4. I mean, even like with an aggressive trial, if they would have done that, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep saying this for a while. If they would have done that, snaking would have been able to join in as well, and they would have a nice setup for an aggressive trial, and they would have a 4th person there, because snaking, he can teleport. He's a nature's prophet. He can do that. He might actually teleport top fairly soon as the push is coming from Dignitas. They're decided to stop playing nice, but at the same time, virtus.pro doing the exact same thing on the bottom lane. So the question is Lone Druid gonna be coming towards the top lane? Yes, he is. He's actually gonna be getting some experience because of that. While we see the Lifestealer still not moving. As we have actually Lone Druid getting some harassment from the home missile, but that's all fine. Tower is not gonna be saved by him though. He can just try to gain some experience there. That's all that he's there for, even though nobody's really trying to save this tower or trying to gain any experience on this bottom lane with Lifestealer still in the jungle. He's actually taking a lot of harassment. Got 1k gold. As we have the bear. Is the bear again? The bear is going down a lot here. And that's going to be 100 gold going away. Owie, that's a big kill. A flat cannon harassing KSI away, and there's the bear back again. Has to be careful though. You can't really throw your bear away. Like, if the jungle is your only source of income at the moment, purely because you can't stand on the lane,
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
You kinda are in trouble if you don't have a bear. That basically comes down to that, because you need something to tank the creeps. Unless you're already high enough level yourself, which is something that right now is not the case for KSI, as the push actually continues here on the bottom lane, and with that 1 level of Edict, it's only level 1, but it definitely makes a difference in pushing. Here comes Way Too Sexy though. That's at least someone who can try to do something, pull the lane back behind the tower for example, and they actually back off. They back off. Don't want to risk it. I mean, they have to realize that that snaking can be there at any moment, and someone can TP in, and all of a sudden you've got 3 versus 3 with the Nature's Prophet ultimate already bouncing through. You already saw the damage that it did earlier. It is too much to deal with, and even though Weaver can get away, the supports kind of can't. And if you're having a game like this, which is very low kill so far, we might see a change in that, of course, since Team Wild just got level 6. But if you're having a low kill game like this, kills that do happen just mean a lot more. So kills on the supports wouldn't be worth trading a tower for at this moment, for example. Like if you get a tower, you don't want to die for it if it's gonna be your only first death of the game, for example. Snaking in the meantime, he is looking to be ganked once more. Smoke is up. Nightmare is gonna be there. Here's Skewer as well, and an RP. Well, why not just throw it all on one guy? Snaking goes down. Who would have thought that if everything got just used on that guy? And a nice solid kill at that. And to be fair, I mean, as soon as you see a Magnus level 6, you know that something like that is coming. You know that he wants to use the RP. That's a Magnus. When he is level 6, just like a Beastmaster, just like a Pet Rider, they want to use their ultis, they want to try to get a kill with it. And it is something that Dignitas did not anticipate, or at least maybe they did, but they didn't act on it, let's just put it that way. We do have a tower going down with that death. It is Smile actually that picks it up. Good pickup for a support, especially at minute 7, means that he can get a bit more of his core items up. That's going to be all the more important later on in the game, as we still see that Dignitas' supports are very low on gold. They are basically not having anything for themselves right now. Last hit-wise, also 6 and 6 for either. While we see the last hit, I mean, normally I don't look at last hits for supports, but you can count those jungle creeps, and they matter. We have 10 for the Bane, so that's already almost double. And we have also 4 for Leshrac, so that might be not as much. 2 towers down, it is still definitely in favor of virtus.pro, and we also see that back in the gold graph. They are, of course, 1 tower ahead right now, so that makes a difference as well. As we see the experience graph. We're going the way of Dignitas, even with these kills, and that is because what I said, because of that Lifestealer still farming in the jungle, and KSI just getting there later, and he's actually gone back to the top lane earlier on, didn't get as much as I thought he might have gotten, but he is behind, and that shows. As in the meantime, Snaking actually TP's top. We're gonna have 4 heroes here soon, and the 5th is actually on the way. It is Universe that is also gonna be going towards the top lane. Actually picked up himself up a Hand of Midas. So therefore we'll be pulling even further ahead, as there's no Hand of Midas up on the Weaver. No Hand of Midas up on the Lone Druid, who got 1337 gold the moment that I looked. Oh my god. They don't have an edict with the pushing power, but they don't really have any worries about very much counter push either. The lightning is there, which is basically the biggest one, unless Tamar Wild can get a good RP in here, because he has that up. They have to be very careful with that, because they can't really afford to take a team fight. As I said, low kill game kills me more, and that would be something that they can't afford. As in the meantime, Airmen just made sure they kind of wasted their time on the top lane. They're forced to go back to the bottom lane, forced to go back to farming. And that basically means that Dignitas was sitting with 5 on one lane, while virtus.pro was sitting with 4 on one lane and 1 on another lane. So they farmed 2 lanes, while Dignitas only farmed 1. And that's going to be in favor of virtus.pro once more. As Tamawild's already back in the mid, going for that Blink Dagger, of course. First item that he wants to have, as he already got Mana Boots and a bottle. I guess it's not really the first item, if you know what I mean. That's all that matters. In the meantime, Hand of Might is now also up on KSI. A bit later than the Lifestealer, but at least still having it. Gonna be able to get himself back in the game, especially experience-wise. Gold-wise is not even that important, but experience-wise right now, those levels are meaning quite a lot. As we see the levels, it is level 8 for 3 of Dignitas. Well, the difference between the next one, I mean, there's not even a level 7. No, it is level 6 up on virtus.pro. Lifestealer is 2 levels higher than the Lone Druid. That is a big difference. Though we still see that the supports are in favor, level-wise, in favor of virtus.pro, with the Shadow Shaman and the Visage being both level 5 still. Kind of a shame. Ooh, Infest out, Fiend's Grip up on Snaking, but it's his Smile that is taking a lot of damage. It is Snake that still goes down first, but Smile will drop straightly afterwards. RP up on 3. But where is the damage? There is the damage. Shockwave going through, picks up Ow, and hello, Airman gets himself a double kill, and the only one getting away alive was the one that wasn't even there to begin with. It's Fogged. And that is all of a sudden a trade of 4-1. And it started out with Dignitas. They did the whole Nakes Bomb thing. They teleported in with the Nature's Prophet and the infested Lifestealer. Went for the Bane. Bane still died, I mean, okay. But just the delay that Bane could have with that Fiend script there gave time for Tamar Wild to come in there, land a 3-man RP. Very low on mana, but was still able to Shockwave afterwards. And just got himself a kill with that on the Gyrocopter, the one that's of course been free farming on the top lane earlier. And Airman coming in just to pick up the pieces. He's been in 4 out of the 6 kills. He's got 2 kills for himself. He is gonna be quite big this game. And it's something that virtus.pro can be very happy about, because right now he is surpassing everybody of Dignitas. And I mean, with everybody, is of course the most important ones. Is the Lifestealer as well as the Gyrocopter. The Gyrocopter is building towards a Shadow Blade still. He's got 600 gold. I mean, he's not doing too bad on the farm. He's still highest for his team, but it is not as ideal as you might have wanted to be if you're on the side of virtus.pro. On Dignitas, it is. They're gonna be pushing though. Again, 5 euros here from Dignitas. They really want to get those towers down. Apparently, Tamar Wild gonna come in, doesn't have an RP, does have shockwaves. Airmen just able to throw out some harassment. Do they have any way of seeing Fiend's Grip? That is gonna be another death. Going the way of virtus.pro. Schooler in, Shadow Shaman, he drops it. It's gonna be way too sexy. That gets picked up as well. 3 deaths. Dignitas, what are you doing? They just went full Rambo mode on this bottom lane. Without the manpower to back up their actions, basically. Their support's still so squishy, that shows. And the Gyrocopter, I mean, he was on a trial lane. Yes, he got a lot of experience for himself, but he doesn't really have the items yet to stand on a lane like that. And if you're then gonna have those harassment spells, Lightning, one of the more harassing spells of all things, and it is level 4, so it's a lot of damage going through. Shockwaves, Shakushi, it is just too much, and we might actually see virtus.pro take a tier 2 tower off the back of that fight. And virtus.pro just looking really strong. Lincoln gets an RP, but only up on the Visage. Cooldown coming down, the Lightning still going through, way too sexy, will probably still go down. Tamar Wild finishing the job with a Shockwave. Shackle up on the Bane as we have an Infest out on the back end of things. It is going to be the Magnus that dies. Universe getting it done. Snaking gonna try to TP himself out. It will be done indeed. Close though, very close. At least there was a 1-for-1 trade in this case. It was a Visage that went down for Magnus. That is the first good trade that Dignitas did in terms of kills. I say in terms of kills because they still lost their tier 2. And that is not really ideal, especially not with the split push potential that virtus.pro has. And with split push, I basically mean the Weaver and the Lone Druid. Like, normally on itself, they are a bit split pushing, but having 2 of them, that's a lot of split push. Because as I said during the draft as well, if they're going to be both on a different lane, you can only choose one to shut down. You can't really go for both because they're just too... you know, if you're gonna go for a Weaver, you need more than 2 people to kill him off, probably, especially with the way things are going. With Nature's Prophet and Lifestealer Bomb, they need 1 more to hold them in place, for example. Same thing goes for the Lone Druid. You've got a bear to take care of, and you need more than 2 people there, so you can't really split yourself up, now can you? And that's gonna be a split push potential for you. Yay, point made. Hooray. We saw Airman already having his Lincolns complete, as we saw it pop there as well. That was the homing missile. Of course, it's just level 1. It's just a good way to pop off that pop off that Lincolns. So we're gonna have Tamer Wild. We saw the Blink Dagger in action already. He is actually he's dead once. That was one of the deaths that virtus.pro has. Because I was almost saying like, oh my god, he only died once. But then again, he has actually died almost most of his team, as we see only Bane dying as much as he, because there's only 2 kills up on Dignitas so far. As we see virtus.pro taking on the last tier 1 tower, standing on the side of Dignitas. And Dignitas quite behind on towers. They are gonna try to take a Roshan though. And let's see if virtus.pro is gonna allow that, because I think they realize that. And they will use their illusion to scout it out. Hello everybody, that is gonna be Dignitas, seeing that illusion just walking past. Not like they care. They are aiming to get it down before anything else. Do they have any vision? They have sent towards the Aegis, still gets picked up by the gyro, so that is all good. They get it, they back off. And this could be the thing that they needed to get this done, as we see a TP out from Lifestealer from the jungle of the enemy.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Free gold is what Airman thinks when he sees these wards. Can't really let that go. He's not gonna die from it.
Under attack.
Can't let free gold just stand there. He time-lapsed out, but was still having quite a bit of damage. Let's see if virtus.pro can take down a tier 2 tower mid, because it looks like they are looking at that. 5 people in the mid lane. Dignitas, are they gonna reply? Like, that big teamfight potential is not there for them. They don't have an RP, like, kind of thing. They need to go for the pickups and for the Nature's Prophet, Lifestealer ganks with Shadow Shaman hanging around there as well. They can't really find it though. Not with virtus.pro. They are playing 5-man Dota right now, and that is something that Dignitas doesn't have the power to deal with yet. And you know, the thing about a Visage is that he is super strong on the lane, and he is probably one of the better tri-lane heroes purely for his nuke potential. But we haven't really been seeing his value this game yet, purely because there was no aggressive tri-lane, and because the early game aggression for Dignitas was not there. I'm kind of wondering if things would have gone differently if Dignitas actually had that. I guess we'll never find out. I'm not saying that they're out of this game yet though, because that Lifestealer as well as the Gyrocopter can go pretty big, and we know what they can do when they're pretty big, especially the Gyrocopter, and he can actually go at some point, if the game lasts long enough, for one of those desperation rapiers. And I say desperation rapiers because that's basically what you buy if you're behind. You don't think you can win unless you got a rapier and you own everybody. But that is something that is up to Aoi to decide, as he's got a Shadow Blade complete. They're going to be trying to push down the bottom lane a bit, but they're going to be trading a tier 4 tower. Not too bad of a trade though, if they indeed trade, that is, and they don't seem to be trading, because here comes Airman, forcing everybody back. 1 Weaver to force them all back. It's all that needed. He's got himself 1600 gold again, as we have the rest of virtus.pro just roaming back towards the mid lane, as Visage still takes down a tower in the mid lane. That was a tier 1 tower only, by the way. A big one at that. I mean, that teleport point for virtus.pro is probably worth more than the gold itself. So it is really a good pick-off, but it's still a tier 1 tower that was still standing at 17 minutes, while all the outer towers of Dignitas are already gone. So we have the gold graph. It's the 7,500 gold in favor of Dignitas, with the experience graph going the way of Dignitas, or going the way of virtus.pro as well. Did I say Dignitas previous one? I meant in favor of virtus.pro. And virtus.pro also in favor of the experience. Not that much though. Like, considering they're 8 kills ahead, only 3k experience is really not that much, so it's kinda nice for Dignitas that they can still keep themselves experience-wise in the game, and that's of course also because the supports have finally been able to catch some levels. I guess if we look at the level differences, it is still there, but you have 2 heroes of Dignitas that are level 11 and 12, and you have only 1 that's level 12 on the side of virtus.pro. But virtus.pro, they might not care all too much. Their bear almost has an armlet. going to be pushing down the tier 3 a bit, as Edict also helped out. There is still no fortification up, by the way. Fortification got used earlier already. So virtus.pro, they might just try to force out a push and just go for a siege. Like I said, I mean, they have got the lineup for a fight right now. They've got an RP, they've got the Lone Druid, they've got the team fight potential that Dignitas doesn't have, and that could make all the difference. And why not go for the high ground if you have the advantage, right? They can just do that. So, well, there is an Orchid up on Nature's Prophet. Maybe it might make a difference, especially if you're going to be able to get it off when Tamer blinks in, but before he gets the RP done. It's gonna be clutch play, but Snaking might be able to do it, as Snaking himself is gonna now force first push on the top lane. I think virtus.pro saw that though. He's gonna be having a 20-second cooldown on that, on a teleport, and he doesn't have a TP scroll in his inventory, so they have 10 seconds without him right now. Let's see if they're gonna go for it with the creep wave there. If the wave gets cleared out fast enough, I don't think it does actually. Nah. TP's back up again. Still gonna go for it a bit though. There we go. RP up on 3. Skewer towards the low ground. Shockwave going through Aegis. Gets popped, and that is 3 dead with 1 Aegis pop. Well, that was the 3rd one, I guess. Cooldown coming down. Now he's trying to do what he can. Gets himself away. Goes down though. It is gonna be the center word that was the end of him, and that is gonna be a buyback for him. That is his 3rd life that he goes through. And with that buyback, actually able to force back virtus.pro, but that RP, it shouldn't have been possible. Let's just put it that way. I mean, brilliant play by Tamer, don't get me wrong. But if you're getting sieged by a combination that virtus.pro has, and you know that Tamer is gonna blink dagger, there is no way you should find yourself in a position that Dignitas found themselves just now. And this game just shows why virtus.pro also right now super strong is in the finals of the defense. I'm sure a lot of you people are going to be watching that one. It's going to be happening, of course, after this match on Toby's stream, as the pre-show is already going to be an hour before that. Hopefully the game will be over so I can catch that as well. Call down, they're going to go for this. KSI taking a lot of damage already. He's going to be running himself away. Split Earth actually misses everything, as Universe still gets put in an entangle, has to walk himself out of there. KSI staying alive. It is gonna be Nature's Prophet that's the one to go down, with Leshrac picking up the kill. It is gonna be Shackle and Wards Bane, but here comes the Skewer, 1 dead. Owie! He just bought back. If he dies again, this could be GG. Even though the lanes are not pushed out, this is actually not too bad for Dignitas, apart from that they just got wiped. And I mean wiped as in team wiped, because Way Too Sexy is not gonna be able to get himself out of this one. Team wipe once again, and the only upside that they have right now is that the lanes, like I said, I mean there's creep waves on the wrong side of the river for virtus.pro, that is, as in on their side of the river. So it's gonna take some time for them to push the lanes out, and that can give some time for Dignitas to respawn. But that again, I mean that initiation, if you're gonna be attacking someone near a tier 2 tower of your enemy team, you better be ready for people to TP in and come to help that teammate. I mean, it feels like they're not the Dignitas that I know them for. But who knows, maybe they can turn this around still, even though with that fight going the way of virtus.pro. Not quite sure how much they can actually do. Ether Shock, pull down, Fiend's Grave, Fog, the one that controls fights, goes down. RP up on 2, cause he can. Gonna be able to pick up both of them, and that is gonna be Owie trying to get away. Won't be able to do so though, actually will. Shadowblade there, Center Ward is there now as well, but a little bit too late, as we have got the barracks getting picked off. In the meantime, Owie sitting in the base. Split push by Snaking, but that is the thing that he should be doing, because there's nothing else he can be doing. He can't be in his base because he'll die together with his team. Split push is the only answer right now. Split push and hope to buy enough time so that their carries can still farm, because farm is what they need. But it doesn't look like virtus.pro want to give them any chance to do this. Doesn't look like they want to give them time to get back into this game. I don't really blame them though. I mean, you want to win, you want to get your spot in the grand finals, or at least get one game up in this winners bracket finals, as this is indeed the Ritmix RDL WB winners bracket finals. The winner of this match will go to the grand finals tomorrow. The loser will still have to face up against No Tidehunter to get themselves a spot in the grand finals tomorrow. And No Tidehunter, not the easiest of opponents, so winning this game, I mean, dare I say, might even be favorable. But virtus.pro is actually the team that knocked No Tidehunter to the loser bracket to begin with. So we'll find out how that's gonna go, if that actually is gonna be a matchup that we're still gonna be seeing tomorrow, be that finals, be that losers bracket. As we have got the push at least stopped. Stopped. I think it's a friendly retreat from virtus.pro. They have got the racks down on 2 lanes, and Dignitas, yeah, they are going for one last fight. This is their last dying breath. They need everybody here though. Fogged, run! Fogged, run! You need to be here. It is already Nature's Prophet. Gets himself in there first. Running himself away. Fiends grip up on Snakey, and though cooldown coming down. BKB up on Bane. Why not RP? Only up on 1. It's familiar, so that's a bit sad. The rest of virtus.pro actually taking quite a bit of damage. Tame him out, running himself out of there. And Tangle up on way to Sexy is gonna help out. It is gonna be the Nature's Prophet that picks up the Shrek. KSI, can he run for this? Owie on the chase. Can't TP away. Will be dropping. KSI is gonna be dead, and Bane is gonna be the one to follow him in there, and buybacks for everybody because they are just such a rich team. But the most important thing, no deaths on the side of Dignitas, and that's a fight that they were needing to have 10 minutes ago. But it might be enough to buy them some extra time for this one as well. They need more of these kind of fights. That's the thing. They can't be banking on just this one. Like, they've got this fight, but they couldn't get anything in return. Couldn't get barracks, couldn't get towers. And of course, I mean, I don't blame them. There's buybacks used. Buyback on 3 people, actually. 2 people. But the buyback actually used also for the Nature's Prophet. Snaking was the first one to die. Got himself back. Nature's Prophet TPing to Airman though, scouting it out. We're gonna be scouting it out anyway very soon. Lincoln's, hello Weaver, turn into a chicken. Entangle, first hit Entangle up on Fog. He is gonna be dead. The Aegis still gets picked up by Lifesteal, but they are forced to fight here. This might be the last fight of their life. Universe being shut down. Tamarwell doesn't have an RP for another 9 seconds. Skewers people up into the high ground. That's actually saving their lives right there. We're very friendly of Tamar Wild. Aegis gets popped. Universe will still go down. But it's not everybody down yet, and that's going to be something that could have been prevented, I feel like. We have got Aoi, of course, getting away with the Shadow Blade that helped him out. We've got the TP out from the Nature's Prophet, and the Waiters actually just flies himself away. Got himself the mechanism for his team, as we're going to be seeing the Maelstrom almost up on Snaking, because he is forced to take on that semi-carry role for his team. We still have, with that fight, virtus.pro just roaming top. They don't need to worry about backdoor protection, because the creep wave is in the base. And they're just gonna go for the tier 3, forcing Dignitas to fight. Fork will have got no wards to place, and will get single target RP. They just really want him dead again. Cooldown are gonna come down, but everybody draws himself out of there. Gonna be just fine, as Bane still takes a bit of a respite from the soul assumption. Gonna be having Snaking, trying to do what he can, right clicking, but he gets entangled, gets picked off at his way to Sexy. Has got 6 all the stacks of soul assumption. Might be able to still spend them, but will be going down regardless. Triple kill going the way of Airman as he picks up another kill, and that is the GG call, as we saw it coming from a while back. It is gonna be Dignitas that will be 1 game down in the next game that we're gonna be seeing. It is gonna be this is going to be virtus.pro that's going to be happy with that, because they only need to win 1 more game to get themselves into the grand finals, while Dignitas has got to try to force out a game number 3. I will indeed be joined by BDS in the next game, so make sure you stick around, because we will have the next game straight after this one. And you know what the good part is? The defense grand finals can't start without virtus.pro, so you can just stick here and then switch over when they do. Good stuff right here. So stick around for another match, virtus.pro versus Dignitas. My name is Sheever. If you want to support me, you can check out my website, SheeverGaming.com, where you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. But you can also there find who cast what game is gonna go on tomorrow and today, and most importantly, all the VODs of all previous matches of every tournament of every caster. So with a search function as well, so if you're looking for a particular game from a particular tournament or from a particular caster, you can all find it there. Stick around though for game number 2 of the Ritmix Russian Dota 2 League, and we'll be heading ourselves into game number 2. Well, nice graphical bug there. Oh well. And of course also message from sponsor. Here we go.